John Bentley.
What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy Jay Tuck, back live and direct with another Cowboys fans only, live show. So shouts out to everyone who's commented, liked, and subscribed. I see the chat's already going crazy. So if you see in the chat right now, let's go ahead and start flexing in the chat. Y'all know the drill, man. Also, if you're new to the channel, if you're new, go ahead and like and subscribe. Somewhere down there. I want to say, I hope everyone had a happy 4th of July. I was actually on vacation last week, so I just kind of took the week off, relaxed, kicked it with the family. Because to be honest with you guys, I haven't had a vacation since the Pro Bowl, which was in January. So I've been working non-stop. So I'm just kicking back, chilling, hanging out with the family. So I hope everyone had a good 4th of July. I hope happy holiday, whatever you guys celebrate. But we got a lot to get into. So I'm going to let you guys know what's up for tonight's show, right? Let you know what's up for tonight's show. I don't really have an agenda. Nah, I really don't have an agenda. I know you guys are like, a lot of video, a lot of different streams, things that we do here on the Cowboys Fans Only show. We get a lot of creativity going on. But tonight is Friday night. You ain't got no job. You ain't got nothing to do. So what we're about to do is just sit back, relax. If you have a drink, grab a drink, whatever you like to do. And we're just going to talk football because there's some things that we need to talk about. We need to discuss. And I feel like it's time that we actually have this conversation, right? So if you've been watching the channel, like I said, I appreciate you. Also follow me on Twitter at JTuck151. I follow all Cowboys fans back. Yeah, I'm back. I'm following all Cowboys fans back. But it's just things to talk about, man. And I hate to continue to dwell on this, but COVID-19. All right, and I know, if you watched this show with me and my man Dan the other night, we had a great show, and I try not to be so dark and gloomy when it comes to talking about COVID and this 2020 football season. But if you follow me on Twitter, I had to vent today, and I was getting frustrated. And it wasn't really nothing that the Cowboys did. It's really something like the Chiefs kind of did, but it all ties in together. So I live here in Kansas City, if you're familiar. So what the Chiefs announced that they're going to do about, I think, 45% of capacity at Arrowhead Stadium. I think the Jaguars came out and said they're going to do about 25%. So give or take, Arrowhead holds about 78,000. So give or take, that's around 40,000 people, right? 40,000 people in the stadium. The Cowboys haven't said what their capacity limitations will be. I know they've mentioned possibly blocking out the first few rows. But here's my thing, and I said this earlier. I feel like the NFL needs to stop lying to us, which is the fans. And I seem like I've been also watching a lot of the players tweet as well. A lot of the players are in limbo as what's actually going to happen with the season. But I feel like as a fan, which we all are, the NFL needs to stop lying and actually come out with a foolproof plan of how we're actually going to be able to have football this season. Because you hear certain things. So like, I believe they said in Texas, as far as Friday Night Lights, there's a possibility that high school football in Texas is not going to happen. There's different things going on with colleges. I see the Ivy League, they're not going to have fall sports. I've seen the Big Ten, and also I think the Pac-12 just came out recently saying they're just going to have conference games, but with no fans because students are not going to be back at school. So there's so much craziness going on. And you see the NBA doing the $1 billion bubble. You see Major League Baseball trying to work out a way to have a season. But when it comes to the NFL, there's this thing where it's just going to be business as normal. And sad to say, that ain't happening, right? That's just not going to happen. There's no way around it. And I said this earlier as well. The NFL for so long has been the big, bad, evil company, the big, bad organization that all they care about is money. They're a greedy organization. All the NFL truly cares about is getting their paper, which I definitely understand. Go get your paper, right? But I feel like there is no chance in hell that the NFL can take on this PR responsibility of packing not only the players, but fans in the stadium when every organization has done the opposite. I mean, that type of arrogance on the NFL's part, there's no way. I don't see it happening. And I feel like the NFL has not yet come out with a foolproof plan saying how is it going to actually happen. So as shout out to my man Simon says, he just said actually in the chat that they're going to try to do it in phases, 2 to 3 preseason games. So they canceled preseason games. They chopped off 2 preseason games so far. I think the NFLPA is trying to get preseason fully kicked out the window, right? Just get rid of preseason. We're just going to start. I believe the first game is September 13th, Texans versus Chiefs. I don't really pay attention to their schedule, but I think Texans versus Chiefs is the first game on Thursday night game. So you mean to tell me we're going to have training camp in a modified approach, no preseason games, and then just toss players in right into a regular season? One, health-wise, as far as like injuries going on, because he knows a lot of these players haven't been training their bodies as they normally would throughout the course of a regular season. So there's so many uncertainties. also for the people trying to make the roster. I mean, you think about this great rookie class that we just drafted, right? With CeeDee Lamb and Tyler Biadasz and Trevor Diggs, all these people we drafted, this amazing draft class. How are they really going to get their snaps and get the opportunity to shine and set their foot forward if there's no preseason? And I feel like what the NFL is doing, right? They're putting time on their side. They've been putting time on their side for so long because what COVID kind of started, February-ish going into March, that all we have to worry about until September. We'll have a plan of action by September. But if you remember, and I clearly remember because as I said numerous times, I was headed to that NFL draft, headed to Vegas. I personally thought back then the NFL was going to be the big, bad, evil organization. Like, that don't matter. They're still going to have the draft in Vegas. It's Vegas. There's no way the NFL is going to miss out with that money. And it was probably around until, the first or second week of April when the NFL finally said, you know what? We're going to cancel the draft, right? So they drug things out for so long, and they finally canceled the draft last minute. So that was the draft back in April, right? All right, well, here's me, the Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm going to go to training camp. I'm going to go down to Oxnard. They kind of drug things out. They say you can no longer travel for training camp. It's going to be local. So it's going to be now in Dallas, in that area. So, will they have training camp fans? I read today there's a possibility of limited for training camp fans being able to attend. Also, there's something about a fan fair where fans will be able to have 2 free fan fairs where they can tend to meet NFL players. How, bro? Like, how? What's the plan of action? What's the plan of action? All right? And so let's focus on training camp and then go to the Hall of Fame game. So the Hall of Fame Stadium holds about, I think, approximately 23,000 people, right? They canceled that. So if you're unable to feel comfortable having a Hall of Fame game of 23,000 people in the stands, how are you going to have a game opening night for football season at Arrowhead with 40,000? So it really needs to come down is, are we going to have football season? If we are, and we all hope we do, what is the plan of action? Is there going to be a bubble? If fans come, are they going to have to wear a mask? There's going to be temperature checks. What's the testing protocol? So I think Adam Schefter also tweeted out today that the NFL is still working on their testing protocols for players. And I'm just like, it's ridiculous. Like, time is running out. Like, camp starts here in a few weeks. And for people, that I've spoken to who, that 49ers game, right? If you're a Cowboys fan, the 49ers game is a big one. That's kind of one that everyone has circled, right? You have to think about travel, think about time off. You already bought tickets. A lot of us already bought tickets. Did we get refunded? Hotel, different things like that. So I think the NFL really needs to come out, Commissioner Goodell, and really let us know what's going on. Now, I'm not sure if this is from a marketing standpoint that they're trying to hold out to continue to get, commercial money and different things like that with advertisers. I'm not sure what the deal is, but we need to know something. The fans have been drug on for too long. It's been way too long when it comes to this, and we don't know anything. I mean, we hear different things every day. Now, if the NFL was to say, you know what, we're going to try to have an NFL season, but we don't believe fans are going to be in attendance, go ahead and say that. I mean, granted, I want to be in attendance, but if that's the case, go ahead and say it. So NFL, what is the plan? I saw Jamal Adams also tweet today that having a stadium with no fans is whack. There should be waivers that we have to sign and let fans come at their own risk. Yeah, that sounds great and all, but are you able to really take on that liability? Are you really going to take on that liability as a player? Are you really want to take on that risk? Now, I tell people I'm a battle rap fan, right? I'm a huge battle rap fan, and tomorrow is their big event. It's like their Super Bowl tomorrow. 2 of their star battle rappers have came down with COVID. One of them is doing extremely bad, like he's in the hospital on ventilators. Now, so take that same in this small battle rap scope of probably 15 to 20 people on the stage and magnify that by the NFL. Granted, it looks like Zeke is doing a lot better. He's looking a lot healthier. He's back on tour. He's himself. But picture this. If Zeke was seriously impacted by COVID, how that would impact him. That's going to be a bad look. in the NFL, and I think none of the leagues want to have that on their hands. If one of their players is seriously impacted, or they go back and they impact their family members, so there's so many unknown. So when it comes to having an NFL season, a 2020 football season, I need to know what's the plan of action. And I feel like we have about 2 to 3 weeks to really know. And I feel like stringing NFL fans out for so long, not letting us know. And granted, from the fan perspective, it does give us hope. We kind of, 2020 has been an up and down year. So we need something to be excited about, to think about for the future. But we need a plan of action. Point blank, period. And we have seen nothing. We have seen nothing. We have heard nothing. It's up and down. Now the NFL, they get so upset at Tom Brady for having practices, right? Tom Brady has practices with a few players. We're upset about that, right? But we're supposed to be having training camp soon. And that's another thing. So the photo I took a picture of, like, now personally me, if you know, I'm not a fan of jersey swaps. Like, I hate jersey swaps and all that stuff. I think jersey swaps in NFL game, well, actually all sports events, is kind of corny for me. So the NFL came out yesterday and said they're banning post-game jersey swaps. Right. So let me get this straight. I can play a full game. I can jump, tackle, sweat on you. I can spit. I can drink out of water bottles, do all sorts of stuff, do all that. But then when it comes to after game, us taking a picture together with our jerseys, now that's forbidden. That's going to spread COVID. We got to socially distance. So what is it? Like, what is it that we're really doing? Like, are we going to take precautions or not? Because I saw one of my friends, her name is Sarah on Twitter. I call her Mighty, but she said, like, posting jersey swaps after the game is like having an orgy, and then saying like cuddling is forbidden, like some crazy analogy, but it kind of made sense. It's like somebody will play a full football game, warm up, sweat, do all this, tackle, scratch, bleed, everything. That's cool, but a jersey swap, nah, that's too much. We can't risk it. Nah, I can't do that. And so, like I said, it's just to the point, man, where it's very, 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 like, dark. And I didn't want to have this conversation. I know I didn't. But something said, Tuck, you've been talking about it on Twitter. It's time to really go in and have this conversation, man. So what do y'all really think? Like, what does your gut say? Because I know there's some people, when it comes to COVID, there's some people who don't give a damn. And there's some people who are the mask police. There's so many different narratives. And that's what I'm saying. If I'm at AT&T Stadium and Zeke scores a touchdown, and I put my mask down and say, let's go, Zeke, let's go, Cowboys. Are you going to call the ushers on me? Look, I now leaks. I took my mask off the screen. I had to take a drink, and I actually, like, so what's going to go on? If you've been to a football game, and I was saying this earlier as well, the men's bathroom was like one of the nastiest places on the planet. How do you control that? When it's halftime and there's 40,000 people lined up trying to get to one urinal, like, how do you do it? What's the plan? What is the plan, NFL? Are we going to be able to tailgate? Because if they only let 40,000 people into a stadium, the people who aren't able to get in, they're going to be outside in that parking lot. So then what do you do? Right? What do you do? So let's hit up the chat, man. I don't know, man. Every time I try to get excited for football season, it's just that voice that comes out and says, how, Tuck, bro? Like, it's not going to happen. I mean, even college football, trying to force it and just play conference games, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of uncertainties and unknowns, and the clock is ticking. We are there. So let's hop on the chat, man. Let's see what's popping in the chat today. Hippie Jesus. All right, cool name, bro. We need a new quarterback. Dak isn't doing the job. Funny you mentioned that. So I think my brother is going to be here. I need to text him because he's on his way. Let's see here. Let's see if my brother's here. Because my brother, on flesh and blood, yeah, he is one of the biggest Dak haters I know. Yeah. So if he's here, he's supposed to be flying in here soon. So he might just got to the house. But my brother is one of the biggest Dak haters I know. So if he's here, we're going to bring him on the show, and we're going to quiz him. Because I never, we talk, but I want you guys to hear the perspective of a real Dak hater because a lot of us don't understand it. So yeah, we're gonna get to the bottom of that. Let's see. Quit hating on Dak, you trolls. Doc dumb. I agree. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see what my brother has to say about Dak. Well, with everybody hating on Zeke, man is still the most complete running back in the game when it comes to rushing, receiving, and blocking. Yeah, my bro. Like I said, if you watched one of the episodes I did go back on the channel. I did a full episode on people who want to talk down on Zeke. And we went through this conversation about Zeke on a decline. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And so the proof is in the pudding. When you look at the stats, Zeke isn't on a decline. Oh, speaking of the devil, it's my brother, y'all. He's a Dak hater, man. The biggest Dak hater that stepped in the building, man. It's my brother Cody, man. So we're gonna get him situated here, and we're definitely gonna have a little conversation, man.
Let's do it.
All right, we're gonna do it, man. I gotta go grab you a chair, man. Yeah,
right.
go grab your chair and pull up. We gonna get this hashed out, man. But yeah, there's a lot of Zeke hate, and I think it's because when it comes to Zeke, and I said this last time on my man Big Game James' show. Shout out to my man Big Game James, but it was like I feel like Zeke isn't as exciting to watch as he was his rookie season, but the impact is still there. If you look at the numbers, look at the production, the impact is still there, and you also have to think. Our quarterback almost threw for damn near 5,000 yards last year. So how many yards do you want people to have? Like, there's only so much ball to go around, people. So just relax on Zeke. I don't feel like there's any concerns for Zeke right now. I mean, I think we're going to get the value of what we paid for Zeke for the 6 years, $90 million. I think that, this season, if we have it, we're going to see a lot of Tony Pollard. So I think Pollard's going to be implemented into the offense a lot more. So it's going to take a lot of the pressure off of Zeke. But eventually, I don't see any issues with Zeke. I think Zeke just gets hate. He just gets hate for no reason. Shout out to my man K Will. What's up, bro? Cowboys Nation in the house. Let's see. How big of a gate money do they actually need when it comes to fans buying seats? And that's my question. Is like. So for the fans like myself who've already bought tickets, like, what do you do? So how do you choose who gets the seats? Like, if I already bought seats in section 1, 100, I get bumped up to 200 now. Like, how are they going to do it? Does it go to season ticket holders first? What type of season ticket holders? Are they going to have the party deck available? Like, there's so many questions. Like, we don't hear anything. There's no plan of action when it comes to having an actual season this year. It's just a whole bunch of hoopla. And us as fans, we're gullible. I'm gonna lie, I'm gullible as hell too. Like, as soon as the NFL is like, boom, this January 31st, we're gonna have the Pro Bowl in Las Vegas. I heard Jason Witten's voice, and I saw Las Vegas, and I booked it. That's it. I heard Jason Witten say we're having a Pro Bowl in Las Vegas. I said, boom, I'm sold. I booked my tickets and everything. I'm already booked, knowing damn well we're not gonna have a Pro Bowl in January, bro. There ain't no way. Now, I know the NFL originally spoke about, having a window when they can have games possibly slid back. So if they need to move things back, maybe possibly the playoffs and Super Bowl could start in March or maybe in, end of April or something like that. But even that, it puts a lot of fans in limbo too because there's no concrete plan. It's just a whole lot of smoke screens with no plan when it comes to having the 2020 season. Zeke doesn't get enough credit for how great of a blocker he is and durability. Barkley already hurt in second season. Yeah. And I feel like when it comes to Barkley, granted, I like Saquon Barkley, but it's one big play and then he's gone. That's it. He's going to dash on you for that 160 to 7-yard play and he's going to get out. The rest of the game, he's gone. I feel like Zeke is a continuous workhorse and he can use in our offense from start to finish, and he gets stronger when it comes to in the fourth quarter. So I personally going to take Zeke because I think he fits well in our offense. I would take, consistent 4 to 5 yard gains versus one big 70-yard run and then gone. And here's what people don't talk about. Zeke's touchdowns last year was one of the best of his career. Getting the end zone. He got in the end zone last year. Tuck lets him from Jason Witten. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, yeah, man, I got my brother in the house, Cody, man. Great transition. So, time is ticking. We have till next Wednesday for Dak to get his contract. He's under the franchise tag. I personally don't think that he's going to get the long-term deal, especially not after what Pat Mahomes got, which is a crazy deal. But I don't think he's going to get that long-term deal if he's even wanting to be within the range of Pat Mahomes. So I said Pat Mahomes' money is a no-go, but if Deshaun Watson gets anything close to that, then Jerry got to come off that cash. And I feel like if Deshaun Watson gets paid up near Pat Mahomes, then Dak has a lot of leverage in some of his conversations, negotiations. So I see some heads shaking. So go ahead, go say what you got to say. Come on, pull on up. Yeah, it's my brother, the biggest Dak hater on the planet, man.
Dak would not get a big contract.
Why not?
Because Jerry's not going to pay him for a mediocre season.
So when you say mediocre season, what season are you talking about? Last year?
Last season, 8-8, no playoffs. He put all the numbers up against bad teams.
Okay.
Against good teams, he did nothing. He
Okay.
played from behind.
Okay.
Jerry's going to let him play underneath the tag this year and maybe next year.
So you think he's going to franchise Dak Prescott twice and risk losing him?
I think so.
Nah.
I think only way Jerry pays him if he has a good season this year. We have to get out of the first round playoffs.
But as a Cowboys fan, we understand that a lot of the things that went wrong this past season wasn't on Dak Prescott's shoulders. Like the defense didn't show up. You know, it was spontaneous play calling. There was a lot that went into it. So when it comes to doing his job, which was putting up numbers,
yes,
which he had a record year for Dak Prescott, he did his job. Right? Because here's my thing. So you know, we came off a playoff year, and then Zeke got his contract.
correct.
Now Zeke wasn't coming off an incredible year,
No,
right?
I agree.
So he got his money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
But the offense is based off of the run game. It's set up for play action based off Zeke.
but see, here's the thing. It used to be based off the run game until Dak kind of emerged. Now, will it slight and go back a little bit? I don't know. But, you know, I think with a new coaching staff, it's going to be a lot more focused on Dak, and then Zeke's going to be the secondary weapon.
With Kellen Moore, yes, because he's a passing offensive coordinator. He wants to get the ball in the air.
Right.
With Garrett, they want to start everything with the run.
Right.
So I think with the new offense that McCartney will have, I think it will open up big runs for Zeke later on, going in the fourth quarter. But as far as us being a running off, I think Pollard's going to have a big season this year as well.
So you think we'll use Pollard a lot more in
I
offense?
think we'll lose him more, and that will free up a lot more for Zeke in the fourth quarter.
Right. So he's well rested. I agree. I think Pollard's going to be utilized a lot
Because
more.
he was our big player, playmaker. He'll dash him for the big long runs.
Right.
And Zeke is not doing that anymore.
Right.
He's going to get you. People got to stop going off his rookie season when he gashed a lot of people for those long. It's not happening anymore.
But I think it's still there with Zeke. I just think the opportunity wasn't there. Even though our O-line played solid, it wasn't just up to par. I mean, but there's a lot of games where I think when it comes to Zeke, it was a lot about the moments. Like there was a lot of moments where we needed Zeke, and he just wasn't there. So I think like the Minnesota game where he pulled himself out and different things like that. But I think as far as a talent perspective, it is there with Zeke. Now you also got to take into consideration like the fat cat syndrome. You know, people get paid, you get lazy, you get fat. You know what I'm saying? Plus he was in Cabo. You know, granted, you know Eric Dickerson said he was working out like a monster, but it's different working out, you know, on your own versus on the beach. You know, because you work out on the beach, then you go get a few drinks, get a few. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a lot different, but
still 1,300 yards.
Still 1,300 yards. I think 14 touchdowns last season. So I mean, he had a solid season. Like I said, we were airing the ball out a lot last year because we were playing behind. I think a lot of it was because, you know, we couldn't feed Zeke the rock because we're getting down by 31 points against, you know, Green Bay and different things like that. So, what's up to my boy KMT, man? What's going on, bro? It's a 53-man roster. By that logic, none of the players deserve top dollar like Zeke and Cooper. Right, exactly. I think, like I said, Zeke, he earned his contract, but not the season he got it paid. Like I think we extended him way too early, but he held Jerry Jones's feet to the fire, and it is what it is.
Well, I think he knew that Jerry was going to pay him.
Right, because Jerry came, especially because we came off, you know, a playoff season. You know, we really should have beat the Rams. Our defense just failed us that game. So I think that's the leverage that Zeke had. But you got to think honestly, if if say for instance Zeke did held out, I think we still would have went 8-8 last year anyways without Zeke.
Yeah, play calling is always
right. Play calling. Let's see here. Where's up the chat? Yeah, I see. Okay, so Derek says Dak will play on the tag this year and next year, bro. So you got a Dak hater supporter, man. That's one for him.
I'm telling you.
That's one for him.
Jerry.
So what is your thing when it comes to Dak, man? Because I've heard this dude say some wild stuff. We were in Vegas one night. I'm telling the story because we live. He was talking about trading Dak for Jameis Winston and all sorts of stuff. Now, granted, it was Vegas, so I don't know if he was in his right. I don't know if he was low key faded like Zeke. But man, like, so what is your thing when it comes to Dak? Like, what's the issue?
I've never been sold on Dak. I think everybody has these high expectations for him, and I don't think he can handle the pressure. Because the big games that we have, he somehow fails to get us over the hump.
Name one.
Patriots, Eagles, the Eagles game.
Last year?
Okay.
Okay.
I think he improved a lot in this game, but because the deep ball was a problem from the season before.
Right.
He corrected it. I think he's improved, but I think he's going to just be flat line. He's not going to get you over the hump.
Man, but he almost threw for 5,000 yards. So I mean, I think that's what it is when it comes. Yeah, crazy talk for Jameis Winston, and I'm a Florida State guy, and I wouldn't even. We both Florida State guys though. But I think when it comes to Dak, there was a lot of moments where it just missed. Because like you think about the Eagles game, it was the overthrow to I think it was Randall Cobb, or was it Tavon? It was one of those
Tavon
two.
Austin.
It was Tavon Austin. Like that overthrow, like it's just missed opportunities. But that happens with every quarterback. And also, as my man KMT just said, like he was hurt that Eagles game with the shoulder. Now, granted,
that's not an excuse.
But here's the thing. Here's my thing with the whole Eagles game, right? If Dak is hurt and he has a shoulder injury, right? Season's on the line. We win. We go to the playoffs. That man he's gave $90 million to, that's his job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that Eagles game should have been all Zeke. But for some reason, Dak with the bum shoulder was still trying to sling that ball out there where we could have just really just hit them with the Zeke special, because the week before I was at that game when we played against the Rams, and both Zeke and Pollard got off that game, and then all of a sudden, we get to Philly, and then here we go with the passing and everything was just off kilter. But that's a lot to do with game planning and coaching, which we would change.
The inconsistencies with the run and pass and big time moments, that was terrible with the Cowboys last year.
Right.
Like Minnesota, we should have never ran 3 times in a row and then try to pass on 4th down.
Right.
You should have switched it. You should have switched it up from the jump. And plus, that was the game that Dak had the momentum.
Right.
You just roll with him and just leave the chips where they fall.
Right. But see, that's the thing. It's like it was really comes down to coaching, man. Because it's like anyone can see that if my quarterback is hot, I keep the game in my quarterback's hand. Like Dak was hot against that Minnesota defense. Zeke was cold as hell. So why, when the game was on the line, you gave it to Zeke? Like, no, like it's like you should be able to pick up on those circumstances, but we ain't got to worry about that no more because he's gone. Right, Jason Garrett's gone, thank God. But like I feel,
do you think that is on Jason Garrett or is that on Kellen Moore and his play calling?
I don't know, because there's always the story, the narrative. Help me out in the chat, y'all. People think that Jason Garrett was going over Kellen Moore, so it was like Kellen Moore make the play, but Jason Garrett be like, nah, and shift it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it was getting filtered through Jason Garrett before it got to Dak. I don't know if that's the case or not, but it feels like it. Because you think about those first, 2 to 3 games, our offense was spontaneous. It was different looks. We saw a lot of jet sweeps. We saw a lot of different momentums and shifts, and we were all excited. And then for some reason, it just stopped.
But it's also against bad defenses.
Granted, but you would think the creativity
would stay the same.
Yeah, you would think there would be more creativity. Like, maybe, it's better defenses, but you still give different looks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got real Jason Garrett vanilla, like, around, like, week 5, week 6. And I don't know, like, if it was something that was Jerry had his hands in, but something. So I don't know.
I believe Jerry has his hand in everything.
Right? Yeah, he does. He does.
As far as with Jason, especially with Jason Garrett.
Right.
Because ever since he said, he should have ran that ball on the 4th down, 4th and 1, and he did it the whole season last year.
And I think what the problem was, and why I say Jason Garrett was probably filtering a lot, is because he knew that possibly this could be his last season. So he wanted to kind of prove his work.
Or go out his own
go on his own way. You know, it's 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1. We're going to get the ball to Zeke versus just saying, man, just air it off with Dak and trust who you got, man. So I don't know. I mean, that's a whole different dynamic that we don't have to worry about no more. But I feel like placing the blame on Dak for the 8-8 season is unfair to Dak. Because I feel like he did everything he could possibly do to get us there. I feel like our defense failed us a lot last year, and I feel like there was sometimes Zeke was a no-show. Now I'm not a Dak apologist where I just say, you know, Dak can do no wrong. Like, he does do some wrong. Like, sometimes I'm sitting there like, damn, just run the ball. You know, like, just run, use your legs. But it took a lot away the RPOs a lot. Those weren't called anymore. He wasn't getting out in momentum. Because I think that's when Dak was actually at his best, is when he's out moving outside the pocket.
I agree.
And then also, I mean, I hate to say this, but my guy, I think my guy kind of slowed down the offense a little bit, you know, because having that tight end cushion, he overshadowed Jarwin a lot. Yes. Which, you know, Jason Witten was, you know, he did 4 yards, and that's about it, man. I got 4 yards in me.
Nothing after the catch.
Right, nothing after the catch. It was one game where he actually broke after the catch, and that was it.
Yeah, I think Jason Witten hurt the offense. Blake Jarwin is he's better than Witten. Witten's been washed for a while.
He's better than Jason Witten now, like today in 2020, man.
Not
but, you know.
back then. But
Jarwin has some big shoes to fill with me, man. Like,
but he was big in the goal line for us the year before.
And thank you, bro. That's another thing I forgot to mention. Absolutely, the boys, 21-38, my boy. The kicking job.
Yeah.
The kicking was horrible. With Brett Maher. I forgot what game I was watching on the NFL Network the other day. And I really forgot how bad his kicking was. Like, he would nail, like, these long distance kicks, but these simple chipping kicks, he would just
think that Eagles game that we were at, that he hit that, didn't win a long.
Yeah, what game was it when he broke that record?
Or something, or
yeah, and it was just like, all right, like every time he kicked, whether it was an extra point, I literally just closed my eyes and I waited for the crowd reaction. And I feel like he was a huge liability in a lot of those games we lost. Yeah, Maher missed 10 field goals. That kills us.
Yeah. I think he was up there with Buffalo's kicker as the worst kickers in the league.
Yeah, that kills us. And he had such a powerful leg, man. Yeah, he can hit from 60, but not from 40. And it was just like, even extra points, man, you cringed a lot. And that's a lot of missed opportunities where we left the field with no points when we should have at least three on the field. Yeah. So I think that changed a lot. It shifted a lot of momentum. I mean, because you come off the field, you finally get there, and all of a sudden, you miss a field goal. So, yeah, we lost 4 games by 2 to 4 points. Missed field goals in all 4 of those games. Exactly. Shouts out to my man, Justin. So that's the truth. So that's the difference. So you think about those 4 games that we lost by 2 to 4 points. If that changes, our season's a completely different conversation, and I believe people are looking at Dak in a completely different light.
I think they would have looked at them differently. Just made the playoffs. They feel like when you have the team that we had, that Dallas had, compared to what Philly had that last game, they feel like there's no way that Dallas should have lost.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, but here's my thing: is like, and I talked about this also on the show. Like, Cowboys it's always ups and downs, peaks and valleys, right? Yes. We come off a playoff year, even though we lost to the Rams, there's high expectations, and then we drop off. Like, I hope that Mike McCarthy can get rid of that, where it's just consistency. You know, there's no excuse for us losing to the Jets, for us losing to the Bears like we did, losing to the Bills like we did. Like, those are games we really should have won, hands down. Even the Philly game, I feel like we should have won.
Should have won the Pats game.
Yeah, the Pats game and everything. I feel like the Pats game was a lot of Amari Cooper's in too, because Cooper was kind of getting jammed up. But I feel like we're not going to have those problems now. We got the 3-headed monster with CeeDee Lamb, also Gallup.
The Jets too.
Yeah, against the Jets too. Yeah, and
that's one thing about him. We need a dog, and I don't know I think CeeDee Lamb is our dog, but it'll help us out if Amari just checks out like he did last
year. Yeah. I feel like, I don't know. Well, I've had this conversation before with everybody in chat. Like, I feel like, granted, Cooper got the money, but the expectation, the spotlight's on CD, and I feel like in a real season, if everything's kind of going smooth, that he'll take over that opportunity and really show out.
We're guaranteed to lose probably Gallup next year anyway.
And see, that's the thing. I'm a fan of bringing Gallup back, right? But I just don't see how he can work with all three. Because I feel like Michael Gallup's the number one receiver in his own right. He's going to
want to get paid.
Yeah, he's going to get paid like a number one receiver. Especially, I mean, depends on what type of season he has. But I think if he shows the same type of season that he had this past season, he's going to get paid like a number one.
If he gets 900 yards,
right? 900.
Even if he doesn't clip 1,000, what he got last year and what he will get this year, somebody will give him a big deal.
That's why I was saying if it possibly was Michael Gallup that we had to move for Jamal Adams, and I was okay for that, but everyone got mad at me. So
I'm not sold on Adams though.
Oh man, see,
I think he's good as far as to stop the run, but as far as the pass, he only has what two interceptions or 3 interceptions in 2 seasons.
He's a game changer, man.
I think he's a locker room guy. Like, he can change your defense.
He changes our attitude.
The attitude.
Jamal Adams would change our attitude in Dallas in defense. Like, not just in the locker room. I think just with the culture of the Dallas Cowboys, like, it would just change.
I agree.
Like, I mean, even though, D-Law is that guy, D-Law is like, he's spotty. Like, he's really not an assassin. Like, sometimes he's quiet, he's chill, he does his thing, and then sometimes you hear him speak out. But I feel like Jamal Adams is that person who's like just a dog, like 100% of the time.
Right.
He reminds me like kind of like Dez. Like, we just haven't had that since we lost Dez. Just that person. He's a Dez hater too.
Dez is my guy, but
yeah. But I feel like we just haven't had that dog. Like, when you come to play the Dallas Cowboys, who was that guy where you had to be like, oh man, we gotta deal with this dude all night? And Zeke is that guy sometimes, but he's spotty too.
Yeah.
I need a tone setter.
I think
go ahead.
Van Der Esch gone last year being hurt. I think that hurt Jalen Smith.
Yeah.
Because I think Van Der Esch fills some of those holes that opens it up for Jalen Smith to make those big plays.
Yeah.
With him gone, I think if he's here next season, I think that'll be better. And I think they overran a lot of plays on defense last year.
Right. And I think the thing with Jalen Smith and also with Van Der Esch, they feed off each other's energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of like, you just got your partner out there with you. It makes things a lot easier. So, reports are saying his neck's 100% healthy, but I'm like, it's a neck. Like, you just never know. Just like with Romo's back. Like, with the back, it is what it is. And so you never really know until you fully test it out. So, let's see. With every playoff loss, the defense allowed 30+. Exactly, KMT. Total of 65 points given up in our 2 playoff losses, right? Defense wins championships. That's why I've been trying to preach to people. Defense wins championships, and I know. Everyone wants to bring, Kansas City, but Kansas City's defense emerged during the season. Like, they got a lot better, and that's what really sparked their growth. Now, granted, I live here in Kansas City, and so it's Chiefs country, but they really didn't have to go through that man to get to where they need to go. Yeah. So that makes it different. I don't care how you want to spin it. Playing Tennessee at home in the AFC Championship is a lot different from going up to New England and beating Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. But I'm not going to hate. I'm not going to be a hater. I'm not going to be a hater, but it is what it is. But defense wins championships, and that's why I'm like, we need a dog on that defense.
But we also need a playmaker.
And a playmaker, right? A playmaker. Now, granted, I like Diggs and I like a lot of the rookies that we drafted, but with this season not being able to have a full preseason and no rookie camp, it's going to be hard for a rookie to come on early and emerge.
Yeah,
it really is. I mean, if someone's going to come in and make something happen from the jump, it's going to have to be one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard to pick up on the language. You got a brand new defensive coordinator. You probably haven't even really met the guy in person. Like,
everything virtual.
Yeah, everything's virtual. It's not like being out there and being surrounded with the team. So it's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to even if we do have this season, like, what is it really going to look like? Especially for the Dallas Cowboys, because this is a brand new staff. Like, it's different for us. I mean, even if we did have Jason Garrett, there's some familiarity there. But now it's just all brand new.
Yeah. It's a whole new system. I think that's the only reason why Dak signed the franchise tag.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing. And I said this about, on the show the other day. If I'm Dak and I'm sitting looking back, feeling like me right now, I think, man, there's a possibility we're not going to have this season. So if I'm able to get my name on ink pencil in that 33, 35 million or whatever it was. Now, franchise tag, season gets pushed back, delayed or whatever, or it's half-assed. Okay, that's cool. That's one season under my belt, franchise tag. Now, next summer, we got to come back and talk about this all over again. That's why, personally, I don't think that a deal's going to get done before Wednesday because there's really no sense of urgency.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's no need for him to do a deal right now.
Right, yeah. And I
And
feel
I think Jerry doesn't think he needs to do a deal.
right,
As well.
and I feel like right now everyone's kind of cool and kind of sitting playing back. But like I said, we saw what Pat Mahomes did. If Deshaun Watson gets anything near that, man,
I think it's all about the guaranteed money, really. It's just what he gets guaranteed. I don't think it's the contract, but they saying Deshaun wants a 3-year deal.
so Deshaun's probably wanting the short term, kind of like that.
Short terms with the more guarantee.
Yeah. So I mean,
I think that's what's going to determine what Dak gets, is what Deshaun gets on this deal on guarantee money.
right.
Because I think now with Mahomes' deal, I think it changes the game as far as what kind of deal you want to do now. Because Jerry wanted to do a 5-year deal. If I was Dak, I would just want to do 4-year and just do more
Right.
guarantee.
Right.
But I think that 45 is what he wants on that last year.
Right.
That's what's going to hold
He was
him.
running a buffer. I don't know. It's a lot. I mean, Dak's agent, he's kind of, I don't know, man. And I feel like it's hard we've been speculating this Dak contract thing for damn near 2 years, but actually really knowing what Dak's asking for, it's all just
Nobody
he say,
knows.
he might be asking for a 2-year deal for all we know. Who knows? KMT said the amount of changes we had with this team makes me excited for the season to see what they can do. No season would be horrible. Yeah, that's the hard part. That's the hardest pill to swallow. It's like, bro, we got CeeDee Lamb, Neville Gallimore, Trayvon Diggs, like all this talent around us, a brand new coaching staff, and for us to have to wait till next year to see what happens, man, it's gonna be hard. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see it now because things change in the whole year, man. Like people get hurt, different things happen, man. So I want to see what happens like now, but it's just how, man. Like, if it's me, I say, and granted, it's gonna be boring as hell. At least scrap the fans. Like, I feel like if you scrap the fans, there's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? But there's so much unexpected when you're gonna have, say, 20,000 fans at a stadium amongst the players. Like, that's just too much. Like, it's just too much to control. I feel like that's what the NBA is doing.
Mhm.
They're limiting the amount that they have to control. But you got 20,000 people. Y'all been to football games. We all been to football games, bro. People get drunk. I'm not wearing a damn mask.
Right.
Stop talking to me. We spitting, we high-fiving, we hugging, we doing all sorts of stuff. We not following your directions.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. Not at a football game. I'm like, you might be able to do it at an NBA game, but at a football game, no. And like I said, if you have 20,000 people in the stadium, it's going to be 60,000 outside just tailgating.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, I think the NFL really needs to come up with a plan to show us what's the course of action.
I don't think it's a plan. I think they're just going to go. They're winging it just like everybody
Right.
else. And I think they're just going to have a season because they can't afford to lose any. The owners don't want to lose any money. So just like the NBA, I think everybody's waiting to see what the NBA, baseball and hockey does, and that's going to kind of dictate how things. Because it's a bigger roster for football. How are you going to keep 53 people away from each other?
Think about the aspect of this: travel, flights, hotels, like all these different things. Like it's just hard to see how this is going to work on an NFL, like for NFL 16-game season, not just something quick, not like an 8-game season, like a 5, like 16 games of traveling, lodging, hotel, all these different things going on to not worry about an outbreak in a locker room.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part to see. It's like even the NBA, and you think about it, even the NBA players, if you look on Twitter right now, they acting like they in prison.
Yeah.
And it's like they going for 2 to 3 months, and that's not going to start to end of July.
Yeah, July 31st.
And so if the NFL is trying to sit back and say, let's see what happens with the NBA, that's going to be almost August. So you really have a full month to figure this out from end of July to pretty much September 13th when the Chiefs and the Texans play.
Yeah.
And I feel like them canceling everything, it doesn't give them the opportunity to test it out. Like, I feel like if they have at least 2 preseason games, that lets them kind of filter and say, hey, man, this ain't going to work. This might work. We may need to change this. maybe we need to scrap the fans. Like, you really need preseason to really establish a plan. Because here's what I hate. This is the worst thing I can think of, right? Boom, it's opening game. We play against the Rams. CeeDee Lamb goes off. Michael Gallup goes off. Zeke's going off. Oh, man, this Cowboys team is lit. 15 players test positive for COVID. We're going to delay the season. Yeah. I don't even want to see it. Like, I don't even want to see it at all. Like, you're either going to give it all to me or none to me. I can't have just a glimpse of it and then it going away.
Are they having a mini camp?
Yeah, they're going to have a mini camp.
I think that's going to be a dictator right there.
Yeah. Like, but camp's going to be closed, and that's the thing. Is like they'll be able to gauge it off of that. But I'm like, I need to see like a preseason game, see how it's going to look.
I think that's going to hurt as far as you seeing your players against other competition that you drafted.
Right.
Because they're going against their same guys
every day, which you become familiar with. Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, CDC likes to do this kind of like, so yeah. I know this play call. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's the thing is like we're gonna have to have some preseason games. Us just jumping in cold turkey, smack that into the middle of the season, it's gonna be rough, man. Because like I said, it's gonna be more impactful for to start the season than cancel the season or delay it. I'm a KU basketball fan, so being able to get a glimpse of what your team looks like and see if they're championship ready and get it canceled, it hurts. I really not just seeing it at all. And, we can kind of just throw thoughts. Well, we were going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to win the national championship. Not really know. But seeing that your team is stacked and ready to do it, and then it gets canceled, it's rough. Yeah. Let's see what's going on in the chat, man. That's why I think that won't affect Dak's money on the 4-year deal. Yeah, so talking about Pat Mahomes. NBA can bubble everybody in one place much harder with the NFL. Exactly. There's no way to do it. Like, even if the NFL tried the college approach and just did divisional games, that's a stretch, but okay. But who wants? I mean, I can take beating the Eagles 4 times out of the season, But it's like, how do you even do that? And you think about people traveling, flying, all different things, and certain states having lockdowns here, and certain it's so much going on, man.
I just think it will have to be something big with this pandemic for the season not to go on.
But there's the thing, there is something big. Like the numbers are going
they're going up.
Right. The numbers are going.
It will have to be like the government's like shutting down the states, like everything on lockdown.
I don't think they can do that because the NFL has just as much control as the government. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, man. I just don't know. Like I said, I'm supposed to be heading to Vegas in September, but they're talking about re-shutting that down and just opened up like 2 weeks ago. Like just that quick. And so it's like I feel like we thought we got past it, but we didn't. We never really tackled it on head first. And now it's here, and now we just out of options.
And people are not wearing masks anyway.
People not wearing masks anyway. And it's just like it is what it is. So it's like the NFL really has to draw the foot in the sand and say, you know what? We understand it's a pandemic. There's a lot going on, but we just gonna go ahead and enter at your own risk. It is what it is. Like that's where it's gonna have to be. But like I said, even coming from the battle rap analogy is like when actually one of your players really gets hit with it and like it's serious, it changes a lot. Like it changes a lot. So like I said, even with Zeke, he's healthy and everything, but think if he was in the hospital, and it's like, oh damn.
Or for Tom Brady or
something. Right.
I think a big name gets
right. Just some type of big name really getting impacted with it. The other players, they're gonna think, oh hell no. Like, it's not worth it, And that's the hard part, man. Like, or even think if, God forbid, one of the NBA players gets hit hard with it. It's like, it's going to change a lot. Like,
that's what I think the NBA can't do. They can't sustain a big player like Giannis or LeBron getting it.
Right.
They have to sit out for 14 games because that nobody's going to watch the Lakers without LeBron.
Right. So, and that's what I'm saying with the testing. They were saying originally with the testing, they would test daily, and if a player is testing positive, they have to self-quarantine for 7 to 14 days. So it's Wednesday. Zeke's test just came in. We play the Eagles on Sunday.
He's not playing.
No, he's going to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's going to play. Gotcha. I mean, it'd just be Jerry Jones saying, man, toss that test. Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Let's see. What's up, Super Boom? I think we should get Adams. Defense wins championship. Yep, I just said that. Now, the thing is, how do we get Adams? I don't know. I mean, there was La'el Collins was mentioned. I personally say, all right, well, we can talk if it's La'el Collins. Everyone got mad at that, so we scrapped that. No. Michael Gallup, we got to scrap that out of the deal. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what can we give the Jets to actually get Jamal Adams. It looks like they're gonna play hardball and draw the line in the sand. I don't know. I would like to get Jamal Adams. If they want the first and the third, okay, cool. We can work something out. But I don't see how we're actually gonna get it.
But how do we pay him though?
By not paying Dak. but I mean, if we are able, I mean, there's probably ways we can maneuver money around to make it work where we could sign Dak, not to a Pat Mahomes deal, but just a good deal.
Let Adams get paid. If they do something with Adams and Dak doesn't get paid, and see if Dak.
Right. Like I said, and like shout out to my man Skywalker Steel, man. He got mad at me the other day, but it is what it is. I said, knowing what Cam Newton signed for, if we could have got Cam Newton for the low and Andy Dalton for the low, we could have been good. Like I love Dak. But I'm saying, like, that's a hell of a bargain. So you would have gave me Cam Newton as a starter or Andy Dalton as a starter with Cam Newton, like either or, for the low prices that they just signed for. Yeah.
So you would be willing to let Dak walk for Cam.
With Andy Dalton as a block out? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
And then give Adams a big deal?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm good with that. I'm really good with that. But I know. I set Twitter on fire the other day, bro.
I don't know about that one. I'm not sure.
Nah, he ain't got no Dak jersey in his closet, man. I know he's a hater. The season should start in January. Yeah, I agree. They should try to push it back. Like, push it back. I mean, I think there's reports of a vaccine. Now, that's the thing when everyone's like, there's a vaccine coming out soon. Who's going to be the first people to go up there and sign up for that vaccine and possibly become an X-Man? I don't know. But I think that's going to, change a lot if there's a vaccine actually available for people. I just don't know. Like I said, you also got to think about it. Fall, flu season, all these different things coming. It's going to get cold and, nose sniffling. So how do you know if you got a cold or do you know you got COVID? It's a lot. It's a lot to really take on. And I feel like the NFL, they had a lot of time on their side and they just blew it.
Yeah.
And that's all the Commissioner Goodell kept saying is like, we got time on our side. We got time on our side. We got some time to wait. Well, the clock is ticking right now, and we're getting close. I mean, because think about it. If we get the training camp here in a few weeks, and they shut it down for this and that, that's going to drastically impact. Because it's not basketball. I mean, basketball is pretty much set. You got LeBron, give LeBron the ball, get AD the ball. Okay, we'll figure out everything else. But football with a brand new coach, it's going to be a lot.
I agree.
It's going to be a lot. Pay for my college tuition, I'll sign up. Yeah, exactly. Tuck, you can battle rap. No, I can't battle rap anymore. I watch battle rap, man. So I watch battle rap. So yeah, like I said, tomorrow's supposed to be the Super Bowl of battle rap. But I'm not even sure how that's going to go on, man. But let's see what else is going on in chat, man. Appreciate everyone. So like I said, go ahead and if you haven't joined the channel, go ahead, comment, like, and subscribe. Like I said, it's Friday night, man. I just wanted to kick back and talk some football. I got my brother here in the house, Captain Dak Hater. And then go ahead and follow me on Twitter at JTuck151. Shout out to my boy KMT, man. He also follows me on the Twitch channel, man. So if any Madden players out there, then feel free to play Madden. I'm probably gonna rough this guy up a little bit on Madden tonight, so might put on a show for that. But yeah, like I said on Twitter today, man. If you want football, you better get your Madden. You better go back and watch Ballers. You better watch Last Chance U and Friday Night Lights, because that might be all you get. I'm just being honest. So, bro, how do you feel about your expectations for this season that we're gonna have?
I don't have any expectations when it comes to the Cowboys. It's season to season. I think this team has potential to do good things, but if we can get a consistent team together where we play consistent week in and week out, I think this team could be good.
Right.
But it's the Cowboys.
Right.
The teams you think on the schedule you will put a check mark by is the team they'll lose to.
Right.
But I don't have any expectations, but I think this team could be good.
Right. Well, here's my thing, and I kind of feel good about this. And knock on wood. I don't even know if I got any wood in here, but I'll knock on something. But seeing what the Eagles are going through right now with all his comments and Deshaun Jackson, and if you watch the show, man, like my most hated athlete of all time is Deshaun Jackson and Ray John Rondo. So honestly, right now I'm sitting back kind of smirking and laughing at all this Deshaun Jackson stuff. I was like, you know what? Y'all want to cancel him, cancel. I'm gonna try and cancel him for years. But I feel like the Eagles have been really loud this all season, and the Cowboys have just kind of been, quiet. And that's how it is. It's great season. We get loud. All season stuff. Bad season, we get quiet. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that's the case, that we maintain quiet, because with us, it could change quickly. But I think we just kind of keep a low profile. And I think it's a lot to do with Mike McCarthy. It's like there's a lot of unknowns. It's a brand new staff in place. Yeah. So I can't be wilding out. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna have my job.
Right.
And I think that's kind of the sentiment that's going around in Dallas, which I like. I think it's gonna be a lot of competition, especially in the secondary. I saw Jay Lou, and a lot of y'all Jay Lou fans, man. He was like, "Man, this is supposed to be my contract year. I might not even get it because of COVID. This is messed up." I was like, "Yeah, I mean," but I feel like we have everything there in Dallas right now, paper wise.
Right.
It's just putting the pieces together. But I think Mike McCarthy has done a great job putting a staff in place that's going to be able to utilize the pieces that we have. So let's see. You must love 8 Mile. Yeah, I love 8 Mile, man. That was one of my favorite movies back in the day. Had the bootleg version before it came out. I had the bootleg 8 Mile version. Used to write down Eminem's raps. Big 50 Cent fan. Yeah, 50 Cent, man. Like, when I was in college and 50 Cent first dropped, I was a 50 Cent fan way before Get Rich or Die Trying. Like, I have, Beg for Mercy. I still have it on my iPhone right now, like the mixtape version. So I was a big fan of 50 Cent. And then I remember when Wankster dropped, everyone's like, it's kind of cool, you know what I'm saying? But I was jamming it like a long time ago on the mixtapes. And then when Get Rich or Die Trying dropped, it was just like, that's all you heard in the dorms was just like, Get Rich or Die Trying. Don't forget Malik Jackson's comments as well from me. Yeah, all of them. The Eagles have been tripping. And like I said, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. And like, and a lot of people get mad at me when I say this on Twitter, but, and you can chime in on this, bro. But if I'm an athlete, I do not control my own social media account. I don't. I just don't. Because with a click of a button, you can throw away so much money and so much opportunity. And they're like, "Oh, Tuck, that's BS, blah, blah." I'm like, if you look at Dak Prescott's Twitter account, he's not doing that. Dak Prescott's Twitter account's all about some Pepsi products, some Campbell soup. It's always promoting something, right? Right. It's always calculated and promoting, and that's the way you should do it. You just having your phone in your hand and the first thing that pops to mind, because trust me, Twitter is an emotional place. Like, Twitter can get you emotional. Like I almost deleted my Twitter on Monday, and I came back just for the show. But it's like, it frustrates you so much because you get wrapped up in everyone's BS. Like me and KMT and the boys, we could be having like a great conversation, but here comes somebody far who I don't even know, jump in the middle of my conversation and just ruin my day. Yeah. So now I'm going at him. Forget what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like as an athlete, you don't give people that leverage because you can ruin everything with the click of a button. So
I think people, they feel like they have a voice in this time, in this era, what's going on right now. Everybody wants to say something.
Right.
So that's going to probably get a lot of athletes in a lot of trouble with certain things. Cowboys are quiet right now, but when the season starts, does Jerry keep his mouth closed? And we know he's not going to do that. And this contract talk is going to be the main topic of all season.
So I feel like, because someone actually tweeted this earlier, and they were like, do we think Jerry Jones is okay? Because he's been surprisingly quiet. And I feel like Jerry Jones is an opportunist. He just hasn't found his thing. Like there hasn't really been something. So if we do get back to camp, I feel like that's when we're going to finally hear from Jerry. Yeah. And I feel like that's when the question is going to be asked about social injustices. I feel like that's when the question is going to be asked about, Dak's contract. But I feel like right now he can kind of sit back in the cut and really not have to say much right now.
I think he can't say anything right now because anything he says right now, they're gonna look at him, and the players are speaking out on this issue, and Jerry's staying quiet.
Right.
So people's want him to speak, and he's quiet now. So I think it's gonna force him to say something.
Right, because I think Gerald McCoy came out and said something, and Don Terrence Poe came out and said something. And here's my thing: I'm just like, bruh, get your helmet first. Like, what I'm saying? Like, y'all just got here. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was DeMarcus Lawrence come out, but he came out and defended Jerry Jones. But it was like someone who's been there, Jalen Smith. Okay, cool. But y'all just got here, bro. Like, just, that's like me just, getting signed and signing my letter of intent for my job. Right. I ain't even started my first day yet, but I got something to say about the CEO of the company. Like, let's
how do you think Jerry's going to handle this when they're saying he has players now that saying they're going to kneel? And not stand for the flag. When before he was saying his players are going to stand.
Right.
And put feet toe to the line and helmet in hand and hand over heart. What he's going to do when the first player from the Cowboys doesn't do that.
Knowing Jerry, he is a very smart person. And so he's going to find a way to maneuver and do both. And so it's going to be, it's going to be something like either he's going to have some, and I say it like, knowing Jerry, it's going to be like social injustice, Black Lives Matter, or whatever shirts with a Cowboy star on the sleeve. Like, there's going to be something Jerry's going to do to make a statement. He's going to try to make it a deal.
But it's going to benefit the Cowboys and Jerry.
It's going to benefit both. So it's going to be like, half the profits will go towards, this cause that the team has selected, but the other cast can go in the pocket. Like, I feel like Jerry's going to do something. Now, if it was me and I was working as PR, I said, this is what we do, Jerry. And if you've seen them on Twitter, and I'll repost it, but those black helmets that everyone's been talking about, this is what we're going to do. We're going to come out in all black uniforms for our first game. Like, we gonna come out.
That's not gonna happen. It sounds good.
As I said, if it was me, I said, Jerry, let's just do it, bro. Because the thing about it, you came out those all black uniforms with black helmets. That's a brand new jersey you can sell, right? And say a portion of the proceeds go to this cause and everything there. Yeah, like there's different ways you can do it, but I feel like now the way things have gone, it's not gonna be as much public pressure as far as like from advertisers and different companies, if players do kneel against the anthem, that he would have received years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Still, when now you're seeing politics is making its way into sports now, so he's gonna hear it,
right?
And the president's gonna comment on the first person that does not kneel for the national anthem. It's gonna be a big thing this season,
right?
He's not gonna be able to run away from it like he's being quiet now. He's gonna have to face it eventually.
Right.
So that's going to be, I think, an issue for the Cowboys when the season starts.
Right, and I think that's a great point, KMT. It's like a lot of these players were speaking out on Jerry Jones. They really haven't got to meet him yet. Like, shake his hands, see what he's about. And I think that's why it was kind of like this riff where like, well, DeMarcus Lawrence is defending Jerry Jones. I'm like, well, DeMarcus Lawrence has been drafted by the Cowboys. He's been around this man. Dez Bryant's been around this man. Like, these players been around. See, you can't judge people's characters.
Didn't Dez say something recently?
Dez always says something, man. Like, Dez is my guy, but he needs to hire J Tuck PR Media to handle his Twitter account, because like every morning I wake up, there's people at Dez for something. Dez can do no right or do no wrong on Twitter, man, social media, no matter what he does. And so he's just one of those people, and it's like you have to understand when you're a Cowboys player. Granted, you have people who just hate you for the Cowboys aspect of it. Right. They're looking to jump on every word. But sometimes when you don't explain it properly, Dez is emotional, and he just first thing that comes to mind. And it's like, man, let's just chill for a little bit. Like, get back on the team first, and then we'll come. It's like, I don't know, man. Maybe I've been watching too much Ballers, right? I've been watching too much Ballers, and I feel like I can control everything. I said Vernon, like, that's the thing about the show Ballers. Like, it reminds me so much of the Cowboys, because Vernon is a perfect Cowboys player who just always is getting us in something, man. I was actually surprised to hear McCoy come out. Yeah, but McCoy is a vocal leader, and I think he's going to actually help with this defensive line. So he's one of those vocal guys, kind of like Bennett was for us last year. Yeah. And yes, those black helmets are fire. So I'm saying, bro, you come on those black helmets, make a statement, black out the stadium, moment of silence, blah blah blah, and get to football. I think that will be enough. But who knows, man? Who knows? So you have no expectations for the season. I have us, give or take, just going to the schedule. I had us about 11 wins this season. So that's where I'm feeling. But like I said, now, man, just not knowing how things are going to go, it's really up in the air. But if I had to say, I don't expect us to have football season at all. And then also, I think Dak's going to play under the franchise tag. So
what about just for 1 year? Think we get him a deal done at the end of the season?
Yeah. I don't. If Dak is franchised twice, we lose him. I mean, I think if Dak gets franchised this year and then he goes and gets franchise again next year, he's gone. He's done. He's done. He's done. I mean, there's no way he's going to want to spend long term in Dallas after that. I feel like that's a smack in the face. And here's my stance I've always made with Dak Prescott. Does he deserve Pat Mahomes' money? Absolutely not. But if anybody on this roster deserves to be overpaid, it's Dak Prescott.
Why?
Because he's done everything the right way from day one. And plus, he's been doing it for pennies. So you come in, and if I'm Dak and you're Zeke, and I see, you came in, you were highly drafted, you were at, fourth pick overall, so you got your money up front. You've been in trouble constantly, right? You held out. You did all these things the wrong way, and you got your bag, and I come to work every day, bring my lunch pail to work, do my job, ask no questions, lead this team, was pushed into the starting quarterback position for the Dallas Cowboys, being kind of unprepared, but I thrived through it, and y'all want to hate on my money? Nah, we're not.
I'm not opposed to him asking for money, but if it's going to, for what he's done for the Cowboys, I know he's won 2 NFC conference
divisions,
division champ or whatever. That's fine and dandy, but what has he done after that? In the playoffs, he doesn't perform, underperform. That Green Bay game, choke. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing, man, and let me scroll the comments and see who's in here first.
And the Rams.
Let me see. All right, cool. But here's the thing. Romo wasn't doing no better, and he got his bag. No questions asked.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing. You got to be careful when you mention the non-God and much Cowboys fans. Like,
I wasn't a Romo fan like that either.
So it's like, and I love Tony, but it's like, let's keep it a buck. Tony wasn't just leading us to NFC championships and all this different things. Right. He was struggling. He had his faults. There was a lot of play-in games that Dallas could have played to get in. Tony Romo came up short.
A lot of 8-8 seasons.
A lot of 8-8 seasons. He kind of was the start of the 8-8 tradition in Dallas. But he got his bag, no questions asked. And so if I'm Dak, it's what it is. And I said this a long time ago, and I wish I could find a tweet, but I felt like when Dak was a rookie, and the way that Jerry Jones was always, either it's going to be Romo and kind of had Dak on a string that entire rookie season. Yeah. I feel like Dak still keeps that in the back of his mind. And I feel like there was never really this closeness when it comes to Dak and Jerry Jones because of that.
I agree with
because any slightest mess up, Dak was going to lose that job to Tony. Yeah. He just never gave Jerry and Jason Garrett the opportunity to do so. It was,
other guys, hug up to Jerry and then they end up getting this deal. But I think Dak is the one that's like, hey, this is business. Like, I get my money, and that's what it's going to be.
And I think that's why Dak is the leader that he is in the locker room, because he's not one of Jerry's guys. Yeah. He's one of the team leaders, and he's kind of like, you're my business aspect. Because I think what happened was Dak never came in under that big Jerry love umbrella. Yeah. It wasn't like, oh man, we drafted Dak Prescott. You're my guy. I love you, man. Let's go on the yacht and do all this. It was like, man, we got you, bro, but you might gonna be 4th string. We got Romo here. We really got Zeke. Mm-hmm. And so Zeke was kind of that umbrella. So Dak was kind of on the outside in, and just injury after injury, Dak got thrusted in there, and he's there. He's balling out, and all of a sudden, Jerry's like, well, we're gonna take things week by week. What do you mean week by week? We're on a winning streak. Yeah. And I feel like Dak felt slighted way back then the rookie year, and that's carried over till today. Yeah. So no, I'm not cutting no discount. Cut Romo a discount.
And we were still paying Romo 2 years after he
right. Let's see. I'm all in on giving Dak his money unless you want to see another few years of mediocrity looking for a new quarterback. I agree. Real Cowboys fans, we know that. From that gap between Troy Aikman and Tony Romo, there was a lot of bad quarterbacks, bro. There were so many bad quarterbacks. I mean, it was, my goodness. Like, I went back and I played Madden. It was like Madden 2000 or something like that the other day. And I was like, bro, this is just horrible. Yeah, like, the Ryan Leaf, Chad Henne, Quincy Carter, Drew Bledsoe. Like, it was just bad. So people act like if we lose Dak, we can just get a quarterback, which we could have if it was Cam Newton. But it doesn't necessarily just happen like that. I mean, think about it. Think about the quarterbacks that Jerry wanted to draft, that draft with Paxton Lynch and Connor Cook. Imagine if Tony Romo's back went out, he was out, and we had Connor Cook or Paxton Lynch, we would be screwed.
Yeah.
We would be screwed right now. Like, Dak was literally a godsend coming in. And I wanted Dak in that draft, but I wanted a durable, mobile quarterback to bring different looks to our offense. Did I know he's going to be what he is today or what he's going to be at rookie season? No. But he did it. It's a true Willie Beeman story. You can add that to your football watch list. Remember after that season opener, everyone at the game said, pay Dak his money. Yeah, and I think that's what happened. That's what the reports are, is that after the season opener, so what that was the Giants, and then who was the second game? Washington, and then Miami. Dak played lights out those 3 games. Because remember, Jerry was very certain that a deal was going to be done like that first week of last season. Mm-hmm. And they said that Dak played lights out, and then his agent, Todd France, said, nah, that deal's off the table. We want this now. And Jerry was like, nah, you don't do that to me, bro. Yeah. And I feel like that's what happened.
But I think that's what put a bad taste in Jerry's mouth.
Right.
I think if he would have came to the table and probably talked to him, he probably could have got a deal done already. But they should have did it the year before then.
Right. It should have been done the year prior to it. But, you watched a lot of the interviews. Jerry was like, I'm very certain I'm going to have a deal done. And, like, the reports are is that the deal was done. And then after those first 3 games, Todd France went and was like, nah, the price is actually going up. And Jerry was like, nah, I'm not doing that. So,
but do you still think Dak has leverage going into the season?
Yeah, Dak has all the leverage right now.
But the thing is, if he doesn't have a good season this year,
right,
he's screwed. He screwed himself by not taking the contract.
Right, and I feel like Dak has the leverage because the uncertainty with COVID, he's betting on himself, and if he does have a big season, then he can sit and gauge the market and see what Deshaun Watson and everyone else gets. Because even though he's franchise tag, getting $30 million just for signing your name, ain't bad. And plus, Dak is covered by endorsements and different things like that. So, but the thing is, Dak has to run the risk of possibly getting hurt and different things like that, which we hope doesn't happen. But I feel like he has the leverage right now. So he can sit back, take the franchise, and we'll come back next summer. And if you mess around and do it again, then hey, that lets me know. That lets me know. But it's like we really need to focus on signing Dak, because I feel like our core of our young core is all signed, besides, Gallup and possibly LVE for next year, and then, J-Lou. But the main core of this Dallas group, just like with Kansas City, is signed for a long time. And so we just have to keep our quarterback happy.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part, is like with Dak being franchised, you look at it as like, okay, my shoulder's a little sore today, man. I can't practice today. Oh man, we need your practice. Nah, I'm a little short. I'm gonna sit out because I don't want to risk it. Because I don't have a long-term deal. So y'all go ahead. Now, some people say Dak is not like that. He's a leader, blah blah blah. But hey, it happens, and if it happens, I fully understand. Yeah. Like if I'm on a franchise tag and I have a slightest hamstring soreness or something like that, I can't go out there like that with that, and I can't risk it. So I think it's a lot of uncertainties, but I think Dak is the long-term quarterback solution for Dallas. And I feel like they just need to take care of him, and they both need to come to a middle. Like Super Boom just said, Dak should fire his agent. I agree. I think he needs a brand new agent.
Yeah.
And if it's me personally, I would probably have multiple agents. Like, all right, y'all go meet with Jerry, and y'all bring me back the deals y'all get. Best one we'll take. I don't know why they just stick with one agent and let him just kind of, because of course the agent has their own greed. They have their own needs. Of course he's trying to jack the price up. Mm-hmm. I mean, why not? But I'm just like, man, at the end of the day, bro, I just want to play football. And here's what Dak has to understand. The premium of being the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys is a lot different from being the quarterback in Jacksonville.
Right.
Because that Adidas deal, it kind of fades away. No one's going to really want to buy your Beats by Dre anymore. All them Sleep Number commercials, You know what I'm saying? So being the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, and it's a tax-free for state tax too, it holds a lot of weight. It holds a lot of weight. And so, it feels like Dak needs to really sit down and say, you know what, Todd, I understand what you're trying to do, but this is what's on the table, bro. Like, let's just get to football. Like, let me just get to football, boom, and improve himself. And if he takes care of Dallas, Dallas will take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
You would think. So, I mean, if he was to win a Super Bowl or whatever like that, he ain't got to never worry about nothing in his life. I mean, think about the people who won a Super Bowl in Dallas. Like, Troy Aikman ain't got to never worry about nothing ever in his life. Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Daryl Johnson, those guys, they ain't got to never worry about nothing, ever. If they hit the fan, Jerry will take care of them. Like, that's it. That's it. And it's like, you have to get within that mold of Jerry Jones. Yeah. You know, and it goes back to the whole CeeDee Lamb thing about choosing the 88 over the 10. It's like, man, you really don't want to disrupt Jerry Jones fresh out the bat. Yeah. So granted, you want to wear a 10, you got to wear 88, man. As bad as it sucks, man, just wear 88. But you want to get in Jerry's good graces because he's the owner. I mean, think about it. If you work for a company right now, you know how the opportunity to get in, you know, good with the CEO is? Yeah. You good. You know, it's just it is. Yeah, not fighting the keep one fire agent. He already did this. So you already had a new agent. So when did he get with Todd France? Was it last season? KMT? Season.
I think he got with him last season.
Last season? Yeah, okay.
Because I don't think he had the same agent when he first came to the league.
Yeah. So he needs to go get LeBron and them and go get them boys, man. Get the deal done, man. So, but yeah, man, that's all I want to talk about, man. I appreciate everyone for joining in for the live stream. Just wanted to boot up and talk Cowboys football, man. I hope everyone's having a good, safe Friday night. Stay safe. Do what you gotta do, man. Protect yourself from COVID, man. It's real. It's real. It's real. As much as people want to tell you it's not, don't listen to them. Hopefully I'm wrong. Y'all come back and say, "Hi, Tuck. We having football season. Look at me. I'm at the Cowboys game right now with your mask on, taking selfies." Y'all gonna do that. Hopefully I'm wrong, man. But like personally, I just don't see it happening. Hopefully I'm wrong. But like, go ahead. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel, man. I appreciate all your support. Also, follow me on Twitter at JTuck151, man. Got my brother in the house, man. We're going to play some Madden, and we're going to have some fun, man. Y'all have a great Friday night. Stay blessed, stay safe, stay encouraged. Signing off. Peace. Go Cowboys. And I'm going to check it out. I'm going to check out the Pop Smoke. You listen to Pop Smoke?
I have listened to a couple songs. I haven't heard the whole thing.
I haven't gotten into Pop Smoke. I tried it the other day because I saw a lot of people talk about it, man. It's just not my sound.
The voice?
Yeah, it just sounds like too London-ish.
Once you get past that, I think
I can't, man. Like, I can't. Oh, he made a Mini Man remake produced by 50. Okay. That's just one song you can't redo, man. We'll talk about that, KMT. I'll hit you up on Twitter, bro. We'll talk about that, man. But y'all have a good one. Y'all stay safe, man. And we'll holler at y'all next time. Peace.